In This Moment has become a unique entity in the hard rock world and a spectacle through live performances. Maria Brink and company, through DIY beginnings, have proven they are willing to put in the work for their art and music. It's in 2020's Mother, In This Moment's 7th studio album, that they will try to dive deeper into the thematically dark world that they've set up through their past few albums. I've been covering In This Moment for years, ever since rock really was in its beginning stages, through being a fan, photography, journalism, album reviewing, you name it. This is a band I've followed, and it's personal for me because this is one of the groups that I've grown with, even as an adult, and I've always been interested in what In This Moment would do next. Mother is being described as In This Moment's heaviest album since 2012's gold-certified Blood. Considering that the following albums, Black Widow and Ritual, were definitely not light but also had more melody and a brooding tone throughout, it's interesting to aim for that style of heaviness again. I've had the mindset that In This Moment can do both styles well, the heavy and the melodic stylings in Loud and Quiet. Over the past few years, In This Moment has integrated more electronic and mood-setting backgrounds in all of their music. Whether it's a backtrack or ambient sound integration to lead into a heavy riff and scream, it's worked well for In This Moment. This is a band that stands out as an example of knowing how to implement these elements well while still showing off instruments and talent from the band members. I figured Mother would be going in the same direction and style with an underlying theme, kind of continuing the ideas of Ritual from 2017. I really enjoyed Ritual for what it was worth. The album I got in 2020 was not what I was expecting. The first big single and big standout on the album is The In-Between. The track is filled with wordplay and references to past song titles and albums, all unified in a descriptive song describing Maria. She sounds great, and when she's belting out notes, the mixing works on both the instrument and production side, and I don't know the last time I heard a track like this that calls back to a decade plus of past works. The first cover song on Mother is a slow, ominous, rhythm-strong version of Steve Miller Band's Fly Like an Eagle. The electronic drums and chugging riffs carry a lot while Maria bellows out selective lyrics and a strongly modified take on the original. It's okay. It's an odd true opener after the intro for sure, and at 4 minutes it feels repetitive about halfway through. Even with the heavy riffs in the last minute at the end where the entire band comes in, the song does not stand out well. Another single to come out before album release was As Above, So Below. This song opens with sound effects and a thick digital beat. Definitely one of the heavier songs on Mother. It's not terrible, but Maria's delivery feels significantly calmer when compared to the heavy song that this is. It feels disjointed because of this, and you keep hoping Maria's gonna cut loose, but she doesn't. Those singles had a lot going on and showcased some variety, to be fair, which In This Moment is capable of doing, but as for the rest of Mother, not so much. This album, for the most part, is a very steady sound that does not relish in the band's talents. That hurts. The big point I want to get into goes along with what I said about As Above, So Below, is that Maria just does not sound like she's giving it everything here, and that's a shame. That point is unfortunately highlighted when special guests make appearances in Mother. For starters, Hunting Grounds featuring Joe Catella of Dead, there is a strong mood set with the effects, and the back and forth between the two lyrically works, but there is very little to get excited about. Drum blasts abruptly come in and overtake the volume. The chorus revolves around the line of One of Us is Going Down, where even here, Maria sounds like she's going through the motions. The energy and the guitar work picks up slightly as the track goes on, but really not much to say. Then we get to the biggest surprise on Mother, a cover of Queen's We Will Rock You featuring Lizzie Hale and Taylor Momsen. It's here that on this In This Moment cover that the special guests outshine Maria in their delivery. The song is awkwardly stretched out by a verse to give each woman time, and both Taylor and Lizzie stand head and shoulders above Maria. This cover has an awkward tone, and as soon as it's over, you really have no interest in hearing it again. It's a glorified karaoke cover, and the biggest surprise on the album is the biggest letdown. As for the rest of the album, Legacy has a stronger sense of melody and gets a good vibe with both the digital effects and mood setting for the album. The energy does a good job of picking up, and there is a good build. Maria sounds like she's giving a bit more at moments, but it's in this track where the rest of the band doesn't sound present. They take a back seat to the backtrack and effects board. The title track opens up sounding very similar to the style of the Fly Like an Eagle cover. I feel like the song has an idea, but sweet mercy, the title track is middle of the road filler. Nothing happens. It doesn't feel impactful. It's a long, moaning, dragged out slog. Born in Flames features a lot of synth work, and it's getting to the point in the album that I realized that Mother relishes in the electronic work more than any past In This Moment album. Just like the title track, nothing really happens. It's a cross between 80s and faded vocals, and it's instantly forgettable. God Is She feels like recycled riffs from the Black Widow album, and at the same time feels like a long, continuous running track when combined with the title track and Born in Flames. 4.5 minutes of raised drum volume and awkward mixing. A Holy Man comes in with some riffs and Maria playing on the phrase of "show me a holy man," where the writing definitely fits past themes of Maria's work. It's treading water on In This Moment material though. There's a weak bridge and the song doesn't capitalize on any of the separate band members' strengths, just like many songs on Mother, unfortunately. Lay Me Down finally has some better delivery from Maria in vocal performance, and you hear her attitude and swagger finally come out a little more. It works here. I admit the chorus isn't much and lyrically it's not a ton of material, but it's in the selling and clarity of everything that shines above previous tracks. It's a rhythmic, fun track to chant along with in the second half too. And lastly, we go to the over 6.5 minute Into Dust. The piano is smooth and Maria has a great singing voice, but proves my case of her sleepily breathing out notes. It's a quiet track that goes on and feels out of place after so much electronic work. Not the worst, not awful to listen to, but nothing worth hearing again. Just like most of this album. I've been a fan of In This Moment for 10 years. I've seen them live more times than I can count. And in my opinion, Mother is their weakest album to date. The fire and personality with Maria easily showed off in past albums is absent. The talent from guitarists like Chris and Randy are not showcased. Most of the songs sound extremely similar or like one insanely long track. Disappointing covers, repeated ideas, only a few standout moments. Meh. Overall, Mother's greatest fault is that of treading water artistically. The band takes a backseat to mood-setting synth work and effects while the vocal performance is a shell of the past, even as recent as the past few years. Mother was delayed and reworked for several months, and from the sound of it, Mother needed a little longer to cook. This album will only remind listeners and fans of past albums with more energy and passion. What did you think of Mother? Vote in the YouTube card in the top right corner and let people know what you thought in the comments. Big thanks to my patrons and a special thanks to Brandon Barenfeld, I Love Metal, and Dom Smith. You can help support Rock to get perks with your support through Patreon. Just $2 a month goes a long way, and you can have a say in upcoming videos as well. Click on the link in the video description or YouTube card for more info. Please subscribe to get notified on upcoming videos. You can check out my concert photography on Instagram, and you can keep up to date with Rocked on Facebook and Twitter.